Now, how can you tell if a story is going to go viral? It's not always about the entertainment value. Increasingly, companies want to track what consumers are saying so they can identify the content that's most effective for their business.
For those in the know, it's called social velocity, a formula of the tweets, shares, likes, comments and other social interactions. So one firm that's harnessing that technology is the Dublin-based NewsWhip.
Its analytics software processes millions of news stories every day, from videos to social media posts in more than 60 countries, predicting which will grab the eyeballs, key in the internet age.
NewsWhip now has more than 320 clients all over the world. Customers include firms like Associated Press. We're a customer, the BBC, BuzzFeed and The Guardian, but also some big corporate names as well,
including Reebok, Intel and MasterCard.
Well, we've got the co-founder of the company with us and Chief Technical Officer, Andrew Mullaney. Good to have you on the programme.
Thank you for having me.
So I know here at the BBC we're pretty obsessed with what news watchers are looking online and what digital video they're downloading and why and how many shares, how many likes. I mean, that information is what you provide, presumably.
Absolutely, yeah. And for the first time, we can really measure what people care about in real time. So that's what all our customers use us for, is to understand what type of content engages people on social media.
Now, this is something, when you started out initially, you were providing this information to consumers, but you very quickly flipped to provide a service to businesses. Was that purely based on financials?
Not really. We also noticed that the journalists and the media creators out there were using the free service way more, and that they wanted much deeper features. So we decided then to concentrate on providing for these people. And of course there was a financial benefit as they can pay, whereas most newsreaders are free.
So what caused you and your co-founder Paul Quigley to start this? Why did you think of this business in the first place? And it's very dependent on your technology, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, we started out, Paul started out creating normal news and noticed the difficulty in trying to make money online. So we were both involved in startups at the time, and we were discussing ideas, and I said, well, maybe consider trying to figure out the good stuff. There was so much stuff out there, and he noticed that the journalists were obsessed with the social numbers of their content, and that's where the idea came. He said, why not try and get the social numbers for all content out there and see what happens, and that's where it started.
Now, you cover 60 countries.
Yeah.
I'm just interested to know, how do you work out what people are going to be more interested in? Because you also try to predict it. So is there a story that just will have global appeal, or do you find certain countries are more into sports stories or human interest stories? Can you give us any examples?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, firstly, it's a technological platform, so we're measuring these huge amount of data signals. But at the end of the day, it's all about human engagement. And there's a human being behind all of these engagements. And so the types of content that can do well, for example, are one we saw the other day, which was this kid that got lost in Canada in the freezing cold and fell asleep in the snow, and his dog came out and lay on top of him to keep him warm and kept him alive. And this did very well in this local area, and then got grabbed by the bigger media agencies, because obviously it's a beautiful story.
And the bigger media agencies who pay, well, people at the BBC who pay you for your services, what is it that they're getting out of it? You're telling them, well, this story was really important. So are you expecting those companies to make decisions about where to put stories on their website in order to get more online users? Absolutely,
yeah. To understand everything from, you know, what type of headline to use, what length of video, what type of words to use, you know, which stories are of interest, you know, and also maybe where to concentrate their journalists, because now they can tell in real time where the engagement is.
So what's going to be next on your radar, as it were? Because I would imagine when you started out, when did you start this company?
We started about 5 years ago now.
I would imagine there were not that many other companies like yours with this kind of technology, but they're all catching up fast. So how are you going to diversify?
Well, for us now, it's just to continue growth. We have 50 staff, 15 of which are in New York, and we just launched our new analytics product, which gives a much wider viewpoint. So we're all very excited about that, and you know, we're just going to continue serving up the best content to the storytellers of the world.
All right, Andrew, we appreciate your time. Fascinating, especially from our point of view.
Thank you very much. Cheers.